Let's clear something up. Self-esteem isn't about thinking you're perfect or believing you're better than everyone else. It's not about walking into a room and feeling superior or needing to prove your worth to others. That's arrogance, a mask for fear, a shield we use when we're afraid of being seen as less than. True self-esteem is quiet, deep, and powerful. It doesn't shout or demand attention, it simply is. It's the belief that you are worthy of love, belonging, and joy simply because you exist. You don't have to earn it or prove it. It's not about achievements, status, or external validation. No trophy, title, or compliment can create it for you. Self-esteem is an inside job, the story we tell ourselves about ourselves. It's shaped by our thoughts, our self-talk, and the way we interpret our experiences. It's looking in the mirror and saying, you are enough, right now, just as you are. Even on the days when you feel uncertain or flawed, it's the courage to be imperfect, to admit mistakes, and to show vulnerability without shame. And it's the compassion to be kind to ourselves when we stumble, to offer ourselves the same understanding we'd give a friend. Solid self-esteem is our emotional immune system, protecting us from shame, self-doubt, and fear. It helps us bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. With it, we can take risks, set boundaries, and speak up for ourselves, even when it feels uncomfortable. We can handle criticism without crumbling, seeing it as information rather than a threat to our worth. Without self-esteem, we're stuck hustling for worthiness, always afraid of being found out or not measuring up. The difference between fitting in and belonging is key. Fitting in means changing yourself to be accepted, hiding parts of who you are. Belonging means being accepted as you are, with all your quirks and imperfections. Self-esteem is the bedrock of true belonging. It's what allows us to show up authentically and connect deeply with others. It's the quiet confidence to stand in your truth and know you belong to yourself first, no matter what others think. It's not loud or flashy. It doesn't need to be announced or proven. It's a steady hum of self-acceptance. I am here, I am real, and I am enough. That quiet assurance shapes every choice we make. From that place, we build lives of meaning and connection, forming relationships that are genuine and fulfilling. Self-esteem isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity, about embracing who we are and letting go of who we think we should be. It's the foundation for courage, the starting point for every brave step we take. It fuels our creativity, our willingness to try new things, and our capacity to love and be loved. And the best part? Self-esteem is available to all of us right now, no matter where we're starting from. Our self-esteem journey starts the moment we're born, before we even have words to describe the world around us. From our very first breath, we are shaped by the environment and the people who welcome us into it. As infants, we learn who we are through our caregivers. Their eyes are our first mirror. The way they look at us, the tone of their voice, and the warmth of their touch all send powerful messages about our place in the world. When a parent responds with warmth and care, the message is clear: you matter, you are loved. These moments of gentle attention tell us that we are safe, that our needs are important, and that we belong. These early moments plant the seeds of worthiness. Every soothing touch, every reassuring smile becomes a building block for our sense of self. A child's sense of self is shaped by what's reflected back to them. When a parent mirrors a child's emotions, the child learns that their feelings are real and valid. Encouragement teaches them their curiosity is a gift. It shows them that exploring the world is something to be celebrated, not feared. Acceptance of big feelings teaches them all parts of themselves are welcome. When a parent listens patiently, even to tears or anger, a child learns that love isn't conditional on being perfect. This mirroring wires our internal belief system about our value. Over time, these repeated experiences become the foundation of our self-worth. But when needs are ignored or met with anger, a different message takes root. You are a burden. The absence of comfort can echo just as loudly as words. This creates cracks in self-esteem, teaching kids to hide their true selves and believe love must be earned. They may start to question if they are truly lovable, just as they are. It's not about blaming parents. Parenting is hard, but about recognizing the impact of these early interactions. Every parent brings their own history, struggles, and hopes to the relationship. The first chapter of our self-esteem story is written for us in the language of touch and attention. Before we can speak, we are learning what it means to be cared for. Thousands of small moments build the foundation for a healthy sense of self. It's in the everyday routines, meals, play, bedtime stories that our worth is quietly affirmed. A loving bond in childhood teaches us we are worthy from the start. This bond becomes a safe harbor we return to, even as we grow and change. This early blueprint doesn't seal our fate, but it shapes how we navigate life. The patterns we learn in childhood echo into adulthood, influencing our relationships and our sense of possibility. We can always rewrite our story, but the beginning matters. Understanding where our beliefs come from is the first step to changing them. Our sense of worth starts with connection. The bonds we form in childhood teach us how to connect with others and with ourselves, and that connection is the soil where self-esteem grows, nurturing us as we move through every stage of life. Early childhood is where we first encounter unconditional love. Unconditional love means being cherished for who you are, not what you do. When caregivers separate behavior from worth, I love you, but that behavior isn't okay, they teach that mistakes don't define us. This is the core of healthy self-esteem. It creates a secure attachment, a safe home base to return to. With this security, kids become brave, willing to try and fail. Conditional love, on the other hand, ties worth to performance and approval. This leads to people-pleasing and perfectionism, a lifelong hustle for worthiness. The echoes of these early lessons follow us into adulthood, shaping our relationships and resilience. If we learned we're worthy, we seek out respect and kindness. If not, we keep striving for validation. The foundation of belonging is built at home, and its strength shapes our lives. True self-esteem starts with being loved for who we are. As we grow, our self-esteem is shaped by the world beyond home, the arena of school, friends, and challenges. Success feels great, but if our worth depends on it, we become fragile and afraid to fail. Perfectionism takes root, making us avoid risks and hide our struggles. The real test of self-esteem is how we handle failure. People with resilient self-esteem separate mistakes from identity. I failed at this, not I am a failure. They learn from setbacks with curiosity and compassion. Courage is central. It takes guts to show up, try, and be vulnerable. Life will bring both triumphs and defeats. Healthy self-esteem isn't about avoiding failure. It's about getting back up, wiser and braver. The arena shapes us, but our response defines us. True self-esteem is the courage to keep showing up. Adolescence is the age of comparison. Suddenly, peers matter more than parents, and fitting in becomes everything. Social media amplifies this, making us compare our real lives to everyone else's highlight reels. The result? A constant sense of not being good enough. We hide our quirks and true selves to fit in, sending ourselves the message that we're not acceptable as we are. But true belonging isn't about conformity. It's about being seen and loved for our authentic selves. Healthy self-esteem gives us the courage to say, "This is who I am," and risk real connection. It's a tough balancing act, but it's the only path to genuine relationships. Navigating adolescence means learning to quiet the noise of comparison. Listen to your own voice of worthiness. That's where real confidence begins. Let's talk about the voice in our head, our self-talk. It's the constant stream of thoughts that shapes how we see ourselves and the world around us, often without us even realizing it. For many, this voice is a relentless critic, replaying mistakes and magnifying flaws. It can feel like a running commentary that points out every shortcoming, making us question our worth and abilities. This inner critic is often an echo of voices from our past, parents, teachers, or peers, but now it's our own, woven into our daily thoughts and decisions. Living with a harsh inner critic erodes confidence and fuels anxiety. It can make even small setbacks feel overwhelming, and successes seem insignificant. It convinces us our flaws define us, making risk and vulnerability feel impossible. We start to avoid new opportunities, fearing judgment or failure. But here's the good news. We can change this voice. We have the power to rewrite the script in our minds, one thought at a time. We can cultivate an inner champion, the voice of self-compassion. This voice encourages us, celebrates our efforts, and helps us grow from our experiences. This voice speaks with kindness, like a good friend. "This is hard, but you did your best." It reminds us that we are worthy of love and respect, even when we stumble. It acknowledges pain without judgment and reminds us mistakes are human. Instead of tearing us down, it helps us learn and move forward. Developing this voice is a practice, not a one-time fix. It takes patience and intention to shift our inner dialogue. Start by noticing when the critic speaks. Awareness is the first step to change. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really true? Would I say this to a friend? Often we're much harder on ourselves than we'd ever be on someone else. Then, offer yourself a kinder message. Replace criticism with encouragement and notice how your mindset begins to shift. It's not about ignoring problems, but changing the tone. You can face challenges honestly while still being gentle with yourself. Treat yourself with the same grace and understanding you offer others. You deserve compassion too. The story we tell ourselves matters. It shapes our confidence, our relationships, and our willingness to try again. Speaking to ourselves with kindness is a radical act of self-worth. It's a way to honor our humanity and nurture our growth. And it's a skill we can all learn, no matter where we start. With practice, our self-talk can become our greatest source of strength. Self-compassion isn't self-pity or self-indulgence. It's active kindness toward ourselves, especially when we're struggling. Dr. Kristin Neff describes 3 parts: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness means softening the inner critic and treating ourselves with warmth. Common humanity reminds us everyone struggles, we're not alone in our imperfection. Mindfulness lets us observe our pain without being consumed by it. Together, these create a powerful antidote to shame. When we fail, instead of self-judgment and isolation, we can offer kindness, remember we're human, and acknowledge our feelings. This practice gives us a soft place to land inside ourselves. It makes it safer to be brave and try again. Self-compassion builds resilience. It's the foundation for lasting self-esteem. When we treat ourselves gently, we grow stronger, and that strength helps us face the world with courage. Here's the good news. Self-esteem isn't fixed. It's not something you're born with or without. It's a skill you can build. Like a muscle, it can be strengthened with practice and intention. No matter your past, you can nurture your sense of worthiness now. Building self-esteem is about daily choices, challenging your inner critic, setting boundaries, and doing things that bring you joy. It's also about risking failure and learning your worth isn't tied to performance. Relationships matter too. Surround yourself with people who reflect your worth back to you. Healing happens in safe, supportive connections. Learning about yourself, your story, and new coping skills is powerful. Growth is possible at any age. You're not stuck with the self-esteem you had as a child. It's a living part of you, one you can choose to care for every day. Change is always possible. Self-esteem may start with self, but we're wired for connection. When our need to belong isn't met, we break, numb, and ache. Our sense of worth is nurtured in community, where we feel seen and valued. Think of your most alive moments. They likely involve connection. True belonging affirms our worth. Connection is the antidote to shame and isolation. Vulnerability is essential. It's the courage to show up as we are. When we're met with acceptance, our worthiness is reinforced. As we work on our inner world, we must also build authentic relationships. Invest in people who lift you up and reflect your goodness. Let go of connections that make you hustle for worth. Self-esteem is tested and strengthened in the dance of human connection. We need each other to truly thrive. Worthiness grows in we. At the heart of self-esteem is owning your story, your triumphs and struggles, joys and pains. They make you who you are. Owning your story and loving yourself through it is the bravest act of self-love. It means facing your imperfections and vulnerabilities not as flaws, but as part of your authentic self. It's the courage to say, yes, this happened and I am still worthy. Shame loses power when we speak our truth and are met with empathy. This isn't a one-time event, it's a lifelong practice. Every time you show up as your real self, you strengthen your self-esteem. You tell yourself, I am enough. You don't need to hide or be perfect, just be real. In authenticity, we find freedom and peace. So get curious about your story. Choose the voice of compassion. Remember, your worth is not negotiable, it's your birthright. You are worthy of love and joy simply because you exist. Own your story, be brave. You are enough, right now, just as you are. That's the foundation of a wholehearted life.